Okay, here we got it.
Okay.
In the room, then let's make sure we also have it live. Hello, Galaxy Tab. Let me know who you are.
There is a sound. I don't know. You can hear it, Bettina. There's a very loud. I'm the only one that hears it. Maybe it's my. Oh my God.
Hello,
But
Adriana. Let's check that we're live in the group to make sure everyone that prefers to see it live can see it. I want to value your time, everyone that shows up on time. Perfect. We're live, so we'll get right in. I see someone else is connecting to Audio Galaxy Tab S2. Whoever you are, I hope everything works out. If you need any help, let me know in the chat. I am here. Welcome to day 2. I hope most of you were able to either watch the replay or let me admit one more person. Here we go, replay, or you were live with me yesterday. I love that you're active. I love that you're writing lots of questions. I'm here for that, and that's the best way for you to grow. I hope all the materials that you got so far are helpful to you. And same as yesterday, I will go through the material. I will have my PDF with my bullet points to make sure I don't miss anything, but most of the time it's more than that is written on the PDF. And then in the end, we'll have again a Q&A where you can ask me any questions. In addition, if you have a question throughout the presentation that you really don't want to forget, drop them down in the chat and I will get to it once we're done. Or if there's like a burning question, just raise your hand or raise the hand via Zoom so I can see it. Most of the time when I have my PDF on, I can still see you. So I'm here for you, and we'll dive right in for stories. Today, let's make sure you see the screen from the beginning, that we don't have the same problem as yesterday. So here we go. Are you all hearing me, seeing me, and seeing my screen? Perfect. So welcome to day 2 again. Let's just recap day number 1. So if you haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend you go back. Otherwise, if you're just interested in story, that's fine too. So yesterday we just covered how important it is to have your profile set up, how important it is to be clear on your ideal customers so you know who you're serving, that they understand and feel talked to when you're creating your posts. We covered how you can get engagement, how important is engagement, and what is more important than engagement. For example, I dropped your action plan in the group, your settings, how you should set up your profile are in the group, how to keep your friends list clean. I shared with you tools that help me stay organized. And let me just mute. Perfect. Thank you, Colette. If you can, here we go, mute. Perfect. And then how you add your customers and how you grow your list. And that brings us to day number 2. Why should you actually be using the story feature? Why is it so beneficial? Because you have your newsfeed, you're in other groups, you're quite busy already, but then you have that amazing free tool that you can use that gives you a different way to connect with your audience, because you can connect on a deeper level. You're not restricted to just 1 post or 2 posts a day. You can post more, you can post different things than on your newsfeed, because let's say on your newsfeed you're posting about business, your lifestyle, what results you have, and then it's like, yeah, but I want them to know my fun side, or I want them to know more about my life, but I wouldn't necessarily just talk about my daily plan when I have coffee or things like that. So you can show your more fun side. You can share jokes. I mean, you would not just post a joke on your newsfeed because it's wasting the post for you. So more people also nowadays are watching just stories instead of scrolling through newsfeed. It's just like on Instagram, you're looking at pictures. On TikTok, everybody is enjoying videos. So more likely they're spending time scrolling through them, watching them, and stopping when they would like to stop and look at the video more. You can again position yourself as an expert more because you're able to create that know, like, and trust factor on an additional level, on a deeper level. You can as well have your market research done through your stories by creating polls, by asking questions. I quite often do the ask me anything, and based on that, I can then create content, I can create offers, I can cover certain topics in my group, because this way you do market research and it's a free tool to use instead of asking someone, hey, can you fill out me that survey, or can you answer me a few questions? No, it's just a fun way to connect with them and give them an opportunity as well to ask you something. And you can close sales on a much more fun and easygoing level without being salesy, without being pushy, and it's definitely an easier way than just messaging someone. And it adds scarcity. Scarcity means they feel the need to take action, because after 24 hours, your story is gone. So if you post an offer and then it's gone after that time, they will feel the need, they need to press that button now, because afterwards they will not have the chance again. But how do you use stories effectively? Down. Hello, everyone else who just joined. Just don't worry, you didn't miss much, and otherwise you can always watch the replay. So how do you use stories effectively? To create interesting stories and appealing stories that make people want to stop and to catch their attention, it's best if you use all the formats available to you. So that would be either creating a video, using pictures, using the boomerang option, entering just the text version, or also adding music to it. So if you are creating stories for Facebook, so the Facebook story feature, how you would call it, is I highly recommend them not being created on Facebook, but either use Instagram or TikTok. The thing is with Instagram, which is amazing also for videos, is that you can create a 1-minute video and it breaks it down in 15-second videos. Because your Facebook story feature is per story you have 26 seconds that you can allow to use, and after that it will cut your video off. Whereas on Instagram you do a minute video and it cuts it in 3 stories, which is great, because then you don't have to post 3, 4, 5 in a row. You just download it and upload it, but we'll get into that more later. And on TikTok, you have the option of creating quick 15-second videos that are fun, that are engaging, and with text added to it that you can time. So it's a great fun way if you're into dancing, then do your dance videos on TikTok. I did it for a while, people loved it. I know someone else that enjoys dancing on their videos. So it's a fun way to show a different side and to also appeal to your audience in a different way. But you have now the idea that you want to create stories, but then you don't know how often should you create a story. And there is no definite answer, because everybody's audience is different. I know for some, it works when they have 20 stories and their audience will watch each and every story because they're used to it. That person is creating every day 20 stories. Don't get scared, you do not have to create 20 stories in a day. I create between 3 to 5 stories a day, sometimes more depending if I'm out and about, but the ideal is about 3 to 5 stories, at least 1 or 2 stories a day. So you're showing up, you're present, you have another touch point where your audience can see you. And aim for 7 days, but we all can take days off, so that's absolutely fine. Try to have 5 days. And if you just create 1 story a day with sharing what you're doing, or sharing your offer, or just sharing a result, which literally takes you a minute or 2, then you're present in your stories and you have another touch point where you're showing up for your audience consistently, and helps them get to know you and trust you even more because you're consistently showing up again. And just test what your audience likes, like how often they watch your stories or how many watch your stories. It's quite easy to see that. I've never created a story. I'll get into that. No worries at all. I'll cover that later. Just making sure you can all see my screen. So test what your audience like, and timing wise, it depends on your audience. There is no definite answer. I create them throughout the day, and I get different views on different stories now, because now Facebook changed it again and you don't always see everyone that watches your story, but it's on and off. I think they're testing something. But just either you, if you don't have much time, create 1 to 5 stories, whatever you want to create in one go, and post them all in one go. It's fine. They stay for 24 hours. After that, create the next batch. Or if you say, oh, I have 5 minutes there, I have 5 minutes there, and I have maybe 10 minutes there, then create your story in that time space. Just use little pockets of time that you have available, and then create those stories. Or if you're out about on a walk, just quickly record a boomerang or video, and here you go. You've got the story already sharing what you're doing. Quite simple, quite easy, quite fun, and it gives them an insight in your life. And just see what your audience like. How can you increase your views is same as on your newsfeed. You will want to engage with others. It's social media, so just be sociable. About 10 to 15 minutes, engage with others on their story, watch other people's story, heart the post, comment on it, vote on the polls, answer any questions there are. You click on the clickable sticker, the heart, the laugh, and the fire, because that will all engage with them, and it will be picked up by the algorithm. So they will see your stories first as well. Plus, it's an amazing way to connect with new people that you might have never talked to, and or you haven't talked to in a while. So you're actually able to slide in their inbox without being called DM-y. Let's call it like that. And in your own stories, how to increase the views as well. So don't just make them appealing and entertaining. Use the clickable stickers like the heart, the fire, and the laugh, because actually when someone clicks them, you're able to get a notification, which then if you've replied to it, they will see that they engaged on it, and you can say, hey, thank you for watching my story, or for clicking whatever on the heart, for laughing at my story. I'm glad you found it funny, or you continued the conversation. Oh, what's your favorite joke? Or I don't know, just coming up with stuff right now. But just have a conversation again. It gives you another opportunity to start a conversation without just approaching them without any reason. So also they are no longer a cold lead, a cold person, how you call it, but they already warmed up. They already saw a part of who you are, your business or your offer or the private life. So they already know a little bit more about you. And mix up your story formats. So don't just only use boomerangs or only use videos or only use text. Mix it up. Use a video, then use a boomerang, use a picture, just do text. You can create with Canva. It has the option to do stories in there. You can get creative and enjoy it. For those of you who enjoy doing that, go on Canva, create your stories. You can create them in one day, sit down for an hour, create a bunch, and then you just post them whenever you want to use them. Or just share when you're going on a walk, record a video and then a boomerang, so you have different formats available. But you know now how to post, or what timings to use, how to get more engagement. But what should you be posting? Same as on your newsfeed. The RVL method is like your best friend in life on Facebook. It's your results, your value, your lifestyle. You can mix them up, and on the same day, you're actually able to post all of them at the same time. So maybe you want to start with, I went for coffee this morning, or went to the gym, met a friend, show what you did, picture, video, whatever, and then share some value. 5 tips on how to grow your business, for example, or 5 tips how to get motivated. And then next you can show, oh, I received this and this testimonial, oh, I made a sale, new person signed up, I lost 10 kilos, who knows. Like, those are all the kind of results you can share as well, and you can do them all in one go. So you're covering all 3 topics in one day if you wanted to. And you will see your audience will like different things and will engage on different things more or less. That doesn't mean you should leave the others out, but you can focus more heavily on the ones that your audience likes a bit more, which is absolutely fine. So, for example, for me, most of everyone enjoys a lot what I do for my lifestyle, so I am quite heavy on lifestyle. However, I still keep my value up because actually only 10% of people on their stories are sharing value. So if you do that, you're ahead of 90% of the people using stories. And results, you always want to share results. I mean, who doesn't like to share a result when they lost weight, or if they got a great comment, or if they made a sale? Let others be happy for you as well and share that. And then how often you post in category, like I mentioned, you will see the statistic. You can see it when you watch the story. I can show you that later. And always lead with value first. Here's again some example results: sales you made, testimonials you received, personal wins. You went a week for the gym. You woke up every week. You set yourself the goal of waking 5 a.m. for a week. You managed to do that. Amazing result. Share it. Your child made the first step. Share it. It's wonderful result that will make also your audience happy for you. Value anything you learned, again, somewhere that helped you, something that helps your audience, mindset tips, productivity hacks, time management tips, and you can share your offer. But try to keep one offer per day, because after all, we do not want to confuse our audience. So keep it to one, share that offer. After all, after 24 hours, you can get to your next offer. It's amazing. Like on your newsfeed, if we go back to your profile, you don't want to jump one day this offer, next day this offer, one day this offer, unless they work together. But mostly you want to stick maybe 4 days to that offer and then move to another offer on your newsfeed. Whereas in your stories, your old offer is gone. Nobody knows it exists again. It exists still. So you just use a new offer after 24 hours. Nobody will hopefully remember your story, or some will remember, but they won't remember which offer you posted unless they're curious about it. And lifestyle is endless. I mean, you can take a picture of your alarm clocks to see what time you wake up, your coffee in the morning, what you have for breakfast, do you go to the gym, do you go for a swim, you bring your little one to nursery or to school, tell a story what you're doing throughout your day, behind the scenes, take a picture of your work area, you're cooking something, share them how you're cooking something. It's the list goes on and on and on, because your life is interesting to others. They want to know, who is that person, who, what does she do when she's not there? Like, we all sit in front of the screen, and normally in real life you would be able to, like, oh yeah, I'm going there, I'm going there, I'm going there, but you're not having these conversations online. So now you're able to share the information that everyone is like in their subconscious, like, oh, I wonder what she eats, or I wonder what she drinks, or I wonder what she's doing. And this way you're answering the question, and it's a fun way, and they get to know you better. They can relate with certain things. Next, videos. I know this is a topic where most of everyone is like, oh my God, I don't want to go on video, and tell me about it. I've been there when I first started. I was told YouTube videos, come on, do as many YouTube videos. And I'm like, no way. Me on camera, this does not work. I was scared shitless. And I pushed it out and pushed it out and pushed it out. And then I did a couple of cooking videos where you can't see my face. They are horrible. They're still on YouTube if you want to have a look, but it's just for a laugh that they are there. I don't use YouTube. And then after a while, I got into a 30-day life challenge. And I was like, okay, let's do it, whatever. And after 30 days, I was like, okay, this is kind of okay. I'm getting better at it. Well, now, 2 years later, I have done 5 30-day life challenges. And I enjoy doing videos now. I actually do enjoy going on camera, sharing my value, because sometimes, especially as a mom, I find it easier to just quickly record a video or do a live than sit down and write a post and format it and make sure it looks nice and add a picture to it and my grammar check. Whereas on a live, you can just cover the points you want to cover, engage with your audience, and that's it. It takes you 10, maximum 5 minutes is ideal for video online anyway. So 5 minutes, it's perfect. And you get to enjoy and engage with your audience. So don't freak out, just relax. Your video does not need to be perfect. Like I said yesterday, go in my group, check out my old videos. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. But it is okay. It happened. I grew, I changed, I learned. And every time you learn a new skill, you practice and you get better at it. Still not perfect, but it's okay. And you can just build a deeper connection with your audience. So try to go on video and just make it easier for yourself. So you sit upright, dress in something that makes you feel good. So obviously, if I like to dress up for my videos because I feel more confident. I put my makeup on, I do my hair, and I look in the camera. So when you, because now I'm looking you at the side, so you feel like I'm not looking at you because you are here in my screen. But whenever you do a live, point your finger to the camera so you actually know where it's looking. This is a webcam, so it's fine. But on your mobile, it's actually slightly below. That's why you want to use your finger so you know exactly where you're looking to. And then prepare some bullet points. You can do a PDF like that. If you want to do a PowerPoint, do a PowerPoint. If you want to write it down on a piece of paper, write it down on a piece of paper. It's absolutely fine if the first time you're like, oh, let me check what else I want to read or what else I want to tell you. Everyone will understand. And then start with topics that are easy for you. Start with an introduction about who you are. 5 things you didn't know about me. Or your topic about your children, or something you're really good at teaching. Like you are into organic marketing and you know by heart how someone should set up their profile. Share that. You're good at it. You know how to do it. You don't have to think about it. So start with easy topic. And what I do before I do any live videos not so much because I just press the button and whatever. I don't think too much about it. But like today, I would just take a deep breath. I learned this thing is like where you put your shoulders up for like 2 minutes and take a deep breath and you let it out. I know they call it the penguin method. I thought it was quite funny, but it actually relaxes you. And breathing helps as well, so just take a deep breath. I know some people dance before they start a video. I'm not a big I feel like then I'm like my hair goes all the way or things like that. So no, I'm not dancing before anything, but I know some people do it. Or you just stretch or whatever, watch a motivational video, do something that helps you get in the mood, thinking positive. You can listen to your favorite song, for example, and or answer questions your audience has, because obviously most of the time you know the answer, and then you can just share it from, and it will feel natural. So if you talk about something that you know, it will feel natural. Whereas if you start with topics that you're not so sure about, it will feel a little bit more robotic. You will have to look down quite often. So start easily. But if you also then move on to more difficult topics, first of all, you will be more confident. And if you make mistakes, it's fine. We're all human. Actually, it's much better you make a few mistakes and you show up on video and you show your face than you never show up on video. No one knows who you are and you never share any picture, because then it's always like the trust needs an extra step. You need to make an additional step to get them to trust you. And here are some tips for story creation. Everyone still with me? All okay? Perfect. Okay, tips for story creation. Don't, same as on your post, get overly excited with GIFs, different font, emojis. I know it's super fun to create stories where you can have all these different stickers and the emojis, and then there's so many fonts on it, and then you can add that music, and you can add that text, and then you can add that poll and another sticker, and in the end your story will get overwhelmed with all kind of stuff that the message inside of it gets lost. Keep your videos and your story is similar in style. They should still be fun and interactive and entertaining, but they should still align with your brand. So don't just go, I'm keeping everything black, or I keep everything in like pinkish tones or rose tones, and then not the next day, next story is like neon green or something like that, which doesn't align or match with it at all. Just make it similar. You don't have to stick with just one font or one color, that's absolutely fine, but they should relate to each other, look kind of like, and don't go crazy. Unless your brand is all about neon colors and crazy and sparkly, then do it. It's your brand after all. But you need to know which direction you want to go. And when you're doing Instagram videos, I know many of you have the feature of having the auto subtitles now. I still don't have it because not every country has it, unfortunately, but add text to it. So you can just add quickly the summary of what you're telling. You don't have to go it word by word, but just give a short summary of what the video is about, or what you're talking in that part, or what you're talking in that part. And this way, everyone that watches the stories, quite often people watch it without a sound on. If they want to see it, they can go back and turn on the volume so they know actually what you're saying. Or there is this one GIF, it says sound on. This way, everyone knows, you're talking about something important, but adding a main headline or topic, what you're talking about, helps them to get interested in if they want to learn more or hear more. And for those who are watching with music or sound on, add music, add your favorite songs. This is another level you can connect with your audience. Say you are a huge Britney Spears fan, and this person posted a video story about something and has a Britney Spears song in it. Subconsciously, you're already liking that person more because she likes or he likes the same music than you do. So you have again a new way to connect with them, and you added another like factor. And the stories, same as your post, should be easy to understand. Don't type too much in it because after all the stories pass quite quickly. So adding a long text like that, I mean, yes, you can add the GIF tap to hold, but most likely having shorter form is much better because people don't like to spend too much time on reading something, especially in stories. That's what your newsfeed is for. And add a simple call to action. Tell people what to do. Ask a poll, like for example, you're sharing your morning coffee, you can ask them, do you have your coffee with milk or black? And then you can, how do you drink your coffee? And then in the yes or no, you can type over it, and one has like milk and one has like black. So you again have an opportunity to connect with them on a genuine level, and you get to know them and they get to know you better, and you have an option to talk to them. And add your stories to the featured collection. For that, let me move to my Facebook. That's what I wanted to talk to you about yesterday, but it fits better for today because it is stories. Can you see my Facebook? Cool. So previously here you were able to just have a picture with your group and things, but it changed recently. Well, recently it's in I think 8 months or so. And you can click on added features or edit featured, and you can add stories. Stories that you think your audience will want to look again, or that you think is good to have there. So if someone lands on your profile, they can see you posted certain stories and they can see parts of your life. So for example, I have like mom life, just me, testimonials, my vacation, Qatar, Austria. So you can add a new one, for example, if it likes me, or maybe not. But you can add a new one, and then you also will be able to see your old stories. Also, if you forgot to maybe save them because you wanted to use them again, but if you forgot to save them, it will, doesn't let me see if it shows on my phone. So you can click here. I don't know, can you see it? You have the option here of new. and then you have your picture library, or you have your stories here on your mobile, and then you can click on see all. You can see that. I'll post screenshots after in the group so it's easier, but it doesn't let me on my mobile, on the desktop now. And it will show you all your stories. I don't remember how far back, but at least a month, if not two. And then you just click on them and you choose some. So let's just choose some. And then you go next on the bottom and you can name it. And this means that it will be added to your featured collection, which is this one right here. So this way, if someone wants to know more about you or they don't want to talk to you yet, okay, my stories, yeah. So that's with sound, but this would be, for example, another way on how they can get to know you and how you can save your stories and have them there again. And if you ever forgot one story to save it, you can go in there and you can see your old story. I think it's 2 months you can go back, but I'm not entirely sure. It's a great way to add a little extra touch for people to get to know you and for you to be able to share more about it. So if you have any offers, you can categorize them. You can have all the testimonials in there. So if someone wants to have a look at them, or if someone asks you, can I see your testimonials, you can send them there, or you can, yeah, like that. It's quite easy. I think it's an amazing feature that just gives your audience another way to get to know you. Also, if they're, because lots of people are a little bit like more stalker and not talker, how I call it. Lots of people follow you for a while. They watch what you're doing, read your posts, not engage on it, look your stories, not engage with it. So it gives those another way of getting to know you without talking to you, and that's always a great thing. And when you create stories, you want to always think, oh, what do I like to, not think, oh, what do I like to post today? No, think about what does my audience need? How can they either get to know me better? How can I help them in their business? What can I teach them? Or what do I need to show them that I want to bring them somewhere else? And then how do you monetize your stories? Think of your stories of an invitation for your audience to get help. So it's not your stories to make, yes, your stories are here to make sales, but in your head, think more of it. It's an invitation for them to allow you to help them. So if you add a call to action, it doesn't have to be only for your offers, like I mentioned with your coffee. It's a way to get to know them. Or if what other call to actions did I have? I tried once a rose latte. I asked if they liked it, or if someone already had one. I got loads of replies and had lots of conversation with it that led into a sale. So it doesn't always have to start with your offers. So start with having other questions, personal questions. And if someone reaches out, you can have a conversation. That conversation can lead somewhere else afterwards. And your life story are a great tool to use for that, and to have the conversation, for them to know you already, and for you to get to know them as well. And an easy call to action for your stories are polls, but when you give them the poll, try to avoid to give them the no. Obviously, if it's something, have you ever tried bungee jumping, and you just give the option of yes and no, it is fine, because it's not like a negative, really negative if they haven't done bungee jumping. But if it's like, I'm hosting a masterclass, would you like to join? Then give the option of yes or masterclass, or yes, or send me the link, or yes, and absolutely whatever. You can type over it. This way you don't give them the option to say no. They can pass your story, that's absolutely fine, but they are not able to say no to you, which is a great way to do it, and it subconsciously does something, so just don't use the no. And where are we? Make this story questions. So what I quite often do is I take a picture of myself and then ask me anything. This way your audience can ask you something. Quite often it will be things about your business too after a while, or personal things that they're curious about. And then you can use that as for your stories again, because when you click reply, it will come up with the box where it tells you what the question was, and you can reply to it, or just click a screenshot, and then on Instagram there's a way to have it in your background, or on TikTok. And make the story also with a call to action, like you can say, or send me a message, or click the heart sticker. And when they do that, you can then have a conversation with them, because they're telling you it is okay, you're reaching out to me. Yes, I want to have the conversation. And your content on your stories created based on questions you get asked. So say you do a Q&A and you get asked, how many hours do you work a day? You can go back and say, oh, I work about 2 hours a day. And the other thing you can do is you can use that question that your audience has, not just use it for your story, but also use it for your profile, because it helps you with your market research, it helps you with your content creation. Another content piece that you have dusted because someone asked a question based on what you wanted, you giving them the opportunity to ask a question. That was a difficult sentence. And for the CTA for stories, you can always write DM me or message me. That's absolutely fine as well. I don't do those often because it entitles them to typing something. So I always have a poll there. I think it's the easiest and simple way. And clicking a button is something someone does more likely than typing a long message, in my opinion. Or I do it. I prefer to press a button and write a long message. After all, we're moms and we have not much time, right? And stickers are great. Stickers are indirect, they're fun, they're adding a little bit appeal to your story, because actually if someone presses the heart, the laugh, or the fire, there's like little hearts or little fires, little laughs coming out. It's quite fun and engaging. And like I mentioned before, you get notified and you can reply to them, and it will actually show that they clicked on your story, which you can say, thank you for engaging my story, blah, 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 blah. And then you can share your timeline posts to your story. Most countries do that. I wasn't able to do that for the longest time here in Qatar. I went back to Austria and now I can do it again. So whatever Facebook is doing, it's very interesting. I'm not sure if it shows me share. I shared it to my story already, but normally when you click on share, also on your mobile, it gives you the option to share it to your stories. And then you can just add a GIF to it saying new post, tap here, because that means actually if they tap on that part of your post, it brings them automatically to your newsfeed post so they can read it and then engage with it. Gives you another touch point to increase your engagement as well for your newsfeed posts. And obviously, if someone clicks on it, they're engaging and they boost your stories. Again, with with the CTA, like I mentioned, they are giving you the permission to send them a message. And when you use call to actions, what you want to do is you want to use arrows. So you have the GIF option and you just choose the arrow, because subconsciously, the moment you're pointing at something, it's more likely that someone will press it. And or if you have like your 1-minute video from Instagram, you upload the 4 parts, you can add the GIF of move to next story, or just an arrow that you know there is gonna be the next story. Else joining. And polls, question, message are all options where you can add the arrow to, so they know click on the poll, or put the arrow up, or you have 6 arrows, 3 pointing down, 3 pointing up. You can get creative. It's quite fun. Just don't overdo it. That's absolutely okay. And the aim with your stories is always to get them in your inbox. So with the stickers, like I mentioned, now I think 5 times, you have the permission to send them a message, thank them for engaging. You, because you're creating value, they will want to get access to your offers, because like I mentioned, only 10% of everyone is sharing value. Besides, most of everyone is literally using it to either post lifestyle or just have millions of offers in there. But by sharing valuable information, things that they can learn, they will be happier to look at your offers. And you have the opportunity to have a conversation with them, like I mentioned, if they are already engaging with your story, or they've seen your story, they are no longer a cold lead. They are already someone that has been warmed up, that knows a little bit about you. So it is easier to start a conversation. And when someone saw your story, you can also, on the bottom, it shows you how many people saw your story and who saw it, who engaged with it. You can also, I don't do that daily because I think many people watch it over and over, but from time to time, you can reach out to them and say, hey, thank you for your continued support, for watching my story. Is there certain stories you would like me to do more of? Or ask another question. Another way to connect with someone and have a conversation. So I've added on a little bit of extra bonuses because that will help you with your stories as well. And it's basically words that help your audience take action. I will also post them separately in the groups, so you don't have to right now crazy everything down, and you can just then always go back to it. But are we everyone still here so far? Everyone okay? Let me know with thumbs up. Perfect. So, important thing with those words, only use them if they're really true, because people feel we're very organic. People are very organic. So don't say, oh, it's valid only 24 hours, and then in 2 days you're still saying it's valid only 24 hours, because people will know eventually that you're not telling the truth. So stay true, say the truth, and use, for example, exclusivity, say limited time, limited amount, only 5 spots left, or members only, exclusive, whether exclusive mastermind, for example, or exclusive group. You probably heard that me saying, or in my post, you get access to an exclusive community. It adds exclusivity because not only people that are in that community will get access. So if you don't take action, in your mind, you're like, oh no, I'm missing out. So you don't want to miss out. So then otherwise, power words that make your audience feel good. So it's like complete, safe, bonus, instantly, profit, secret. The list goes on and on. Scarcity is, your stories are already scarcity because they disappear after 24 hours. But you can also add on limited offer, only 5 spots left, only now, only until the 10th of December. Or you can add something less risky, so you're making them feel safe, so guaranteed, secure, tested, expert, popular, proven, easy, reliable, which are all words that are great for your audience to feel good, to feel safe, but also feel they need to take action now. But what are other ways to make more sales? So most important is people want to be on the winning team. So don't lie, I'm not saying lie, I'm not saying that, but give the impression that your offer is amazing, which most likely is, and they are not on the winning team without you, so that everyone that joins you will succeed. But don't say it if it's not the case. Don't make up things. Stay true to yourself. For me, one of the most important things is honesty. So everything in online, when everyone is like fake it till you make it, I don't agree with that. That's something that I am deeply against, and I think we should all stay true to ourselves. I think we should all stay honest. There is enough for everyone, and if we just put the work in, we can all make it without lying our way to the top. And your offer should help your audience overcome the same struggles you went through. So for example, this masterclass right here, it's helping you, or helping everyone that does not know how to use Facebook, to get an idea of how to use Facebook and get clarity on how to grow their business. And your offer should make sense to your audience. So that's why your ideal customer is so important, that you know what struggles do they have and how can you help them overcome it. Say you're into the weight loss industry, and that person is like 20 kilos overweight and doesn't know how to lose weight, and your product or your service teaches them how to eat right, how to exercise right, but you need to package this in a way that it makes sense for them. Like they understand that is where you are now. If you use that, you arrive at that point. So it makes logical sense, and they understand by using your vehicle, your product, your service, they get to where they want to be. So that's why also knowing what your ideal customer wants, what their dreams are, what their goals are, what their wishes and desires are, is very important. And tell your audience how you overcome objections before the objections come up. So, like I mentioned yesterday, cover your objections in post. Like, it's too expensive, I don't have enough time, I'm not sure I'm gonna make it. Cover all these objections in your stories or in your post. This way, when they come up, indirectly, you have changed their mindset already slightly or a lot, depending on how receptive that person is. And also share how you overcame it. Share how you overcame certain struggles. And by showing up, by the way you're showing up, by listening to them, reading your posts, reading your stories, people will build an opinion about you. Like everyone, we're all the same. Everyone, the moment you see someone, the moment you read a post, the moment you see a story, the moment someone talks, you have an opinion about that person. And the same happens from other people to you. And you have to be your ideal customer. You have to do exactly what you want them to do. Say you want a customer that shows up. You want someone that is willing to do the work and that is positive, then you obviously should do the same, because you can't really expect something from someone else if you're not doing it yourself. And one question that I ask myself every day, and that one coach of mine, because I had several, asked me, that is, I think, very important, where we have to stay aware of who we are and how we are, is, would you buy from yourself? And if you can answer that question with a yes, then you're on a great path. If no, then look at it. Where can you improve? Where do you think you have to change? I mean, obviously, we're all growing and we're all evolving, and we all need to change at some points. I have still a lot of other things to do and learn and grow. I mean, this journey is filled of growth and embracing the journey. But in the end, it is like, do you feel good at selling your product? Do you feel like you can represent what you're selling, serving, whatever you do? And I think that's a very important question we should ask ourselves. So that's it for today. It's a bit shorter and sharper because Facebook stories are, it's more of a creative tool, I would say. So it is where you can enjoy everything. If you have questions about them, don't worry, just drop them and I'm happy to do them. Like I said, the bonus words, I will also add them to the group where you can just then look at it. And otherwise, before we go in the live Q&A part, I just want to give you the opportunity, for those who are interested, to continue your journey with me. So those 2 days, as you know, there have been value packed. I give you a lot of information. And if you enjoy the way I shared everything with you, and if you enjoy being in my energy field, I would be honored to continue serving you and continue helping grow your business. And I have learned the skills. It's almost 2 years now that I have been in online. I had invested in several masterminds, coaching programs, trial and error. And earlier this year, I actually decided to condense all the information, grab from everywhere what worked for me, and put it together in my own program, in my own mastermind, where I've created a course with all the information so that you don't have to make the same mistakes that I made, that it helps you save time. And in the mastermind, I share more in-depth information on how you grow your business using your Facebook profile, using your Facebook group if you decide to do one, more in-depth training on your stories. There is sales training in there, there is productivity tips, there is time management hacks in there. There is mindset tips in there, and in-depth sales training. and more of it will be added on. But the thing is, it adds because it's not just a program where you sit there and you do your course. It's short, condensed, in depth, straight to the point videos where you can go through yourself. However, the added bonus is you get access to me because I am in there bi-weekly. I have live Q&As where you can ask me any question, because a program can only cover as many aspects of growing your business. So any questions that are left, any blind spots that you have that you want to have an answer to, I am there to answer your question. You also get access to exclusive group where you have a question thread like we have in here, where I answer any question that comes up, and it continues to grow. I am adding more things onto it now over the next weeks, and depending on what you need in there, based on that I am creating more training videos, and based on how much more I learn, everything I learn goes in there, and it tells you how to grow your audience, how to monetize, and so on and so on. But as a the moment it is $444. I will offer it in this community exclusively until the 2nd of October for $333. It is a no-brainer because for the first two I will also give you access for a full week of messenger access to me where you can ask me any questions. I'll answer straight away. It normally is $100, but for the first two that sign up will get it as well. I will just drop the more information below. You can have a look. Any questions you have, you can ask them. It would be my honor to serve you. If not, that's absolutely fine too. But now, let's get into the Q&A. Let me stop sharing my screen and ask me anything you like. I'll bring up the group as well for those who are watching live. Unmute yourself. I am here.
What is boomerang? I haven't heard of boomerang.
Boomerang is let me see. When you go on your story here, you have the option of here boomerang. It's those kind of mini videos where you go left and right. Most of the people say where you get dizzy, but it's quite fun. Don't overuse it.
And you create them on boomerang?
Not on your Facebook or on Instagram.
So it's like TikTok, you watch them?
Yeah, it's let me see if I have one today. Or I can just make one, wait.
Yeah.
Here we go. So you just do quickly back and forth. Here we go.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Obviously, the faster you go left and right, the more dizzy people get. The slower you are, the more okay it is. You can use them like in between to just grab people's attention again, but you don't want to overuse them because some people really hate them, and some I quite enjoy them, but I know there's lots of people that hate them, and I've been told, stop doing that, you make me dizzy.
What about those videos where it's moving over a person, and I've seen them and they are very eye-catching. I have seen them in your post. What's that?
There's many. I mean, there's on TikTok you have different filters. On Instagram you have different filters where you can do that.
Yeah, I've seen some of those.
It's just being creative, trying out different things. What I do, for example, I quite often go on TikTok. I look what others are doing and get inspired by that. Or if you see, if you want to do something but you're not really sure, you can search for it. And it's just a lot of, sometimes, yes, if you want to be really creative, it can take you some time. But if you enjoy doing that, then go ahead, like really do it. Try different filters. I had a phase where I was addicted to TikTok, and I did all kind of different filters. There's a filter where you can write your text and it looks like you're typing it live with your picture. There is where you can change your hair color. There is where you can have your background with your results on it. What else is there? There is where you can have like 3 of your faces on there, where you can have like you can create reels on Instagram where you say one thing and then you reply to yourself, you have a conversation. But I wouldn't worry too much about it when you get started. It's more when
Yeah.
you're like, when you have fun and time for your business to do that, then go ahead and do them. It's fun just trying things out.
Yeah, it's probably a good learning curve to go through. And
Yes.
they change all the time too. There's like new things. So I've seen some of them, played around a little bit, but not.
Oh yeah, there's new filters every day. I mean, on Instagram, then Reels improved lately. It's added an extra touch to it where you can do more things, and I mean the options are endless, and you can try everyday new things, and then they add new filters to it, and it's just a lot of looking for it, creating it. It's a fun stuff to do if you have time for it.
If you have time for it.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
I've had this happen to me before, and I think we may have had a conversation at some point. Have you ever had it happen to you where, like, I usually make my stories on Instagram and then I just share them over to my Facebook? That's usually how I do mine. I prefer to do mine like that. And but on Instagram, a lot of times if I want to create a video, like I usually do the hands-free video. So, and that's where you'll get the 60, I think it records for 60 seconds.
Yes.
Mine shut off at 20 seconds. So if I want to keep going, then is that just kind of a glitch? Then it'll come back and then it'll stop. Is that ever happened to you as well?
Yes, I found out depending what filter you use. Some filters don't allow the 60 minutes. I had that certain filters, because when I came back from vacation, I tried to use one filter that I thought it was quite fun, and it cut me off. And like, what is going on? Why? I need my 60 minutes for my video. And then I tried a different filter and it allowed me to do the 60 minutes. So certain filters on Instagram don't allow you to film the whole 60 minutes. They're only made for such and such long time. I don't understand why, no idea, but it is most of the time what I found depending on the filter.
I'll have to check into that, because it seems to me I had not even a filter at all on some videos of mine and it still was just doing the 20 seconds. But I've had this happen before. I just find it annoying. It would be nice to be able to, because then you got to remember, but then now what I do is if I have to make them, if I want to talk more than 20 seconds, then I will save it. I will click to save it. And then, if I need to, I can listen to it again from where I left off, kind of thing. So I will save and save. But I do like the option if it would last for like 60 seconds. But I just wondered if you had that happen to you before.
No, I had it happen, and that was when I used certain filters. So that's what I found. And the thing, when you share directly from Instagram on Facebook, it's fine, but it slightly reduces your reach. Whereas if you download it and you upload it on Facebook, it's a bit extra reach. It's minimal, only a few views, but it is a slight difference, just that you know.
Okay, so you mean if you record a video on Instagram, save them, and then go to Facebook and share them on your stories separately, not directly from, okay.
But it's only slightly, so I wouldn't, if you don't have much time and you want to leverage your time as much as possible, share them straight away. If you have that extra minute or whatever it takes to do it, then just do it like that.
Yeah, I was trying to think while you were teaching us here today. There was something that I was something will not share from Instagram onto Facebook. I don't know if it's maybe a reel or there's something. I'll have to try it sometime and see, because I know there was a couple things in the past. I have it on my Instagram stories and then I go to share it, but it won't. I forget exactly what it was. I don't know if it was a reel or maybe it was something that I have actually, like, I like to share other people's posts from Instagram into my stories. I think it's those. If I share someone's post into my Instagram stories, those, you can't share them onto Facebook, I think.
I'm not sure because I download everything or screenshot everything and then upload it onto Facebook. That's what I do. I'm not an Instagram expert.
Okay, well Yeah, okay, well, maybe I can try that. Maybe I can try that too. So now I actually forgot about this question, but now that we've been chatting a little bit about this, I've been lately again on Instagram. I will go, well, I guess your class here wasn't really to talk about Instagram, it was the stories, but I would like to share people's posts onto my stories. Like maybe I would want to share something that you posted in your Instagram, like your feed, from your feed into my stories. I find that I don't have that option anymore.
I don't know about Instagram.
Okay.
I really don't. I wish I could
Okay.
give you an answer, but I
Yeah.
really specialize on Facebook.
Yeah.
I do my stories on Instagram, yes, because I like
Okay.
more fonts, they have more filters,
Okay.
and they have that 1 minute, like I mentioned.
Okay.
I download it and I upload it into Facebook as it
Okay.
increases the reach slightly, but I know that you can share it directly. But how it works with posts and things like that, I always just screenshot it, crop it, and then add it to my story. This way I don't have to deal with any of the other stuff.
Yeah. So I guess you kind of just find what works for you, and then that's what you do. When you were talking about the edit feature there, you were showing us something on Facebook and you had the edit feature. I don't think I've actually ever really used that.
Yes, it's amazing.
I don't think I've actually, well, I don't ever remember using it. So that's something that I'm going to have to
let's see if it works
look
now.
at.
Maybe right now I use it more. You can try it. So it's basically when you go on your profile, once you have it set up and everything, on the bottom you have it edit featured. Let's see. Yes. So here we go. You have the different categories, and then you would click on add new. And then it shows you your stories that you created based on your date. And you can go on see more. So it shows you all your old stories even. Here your recent ones. And then you could just go here, click on a couple. I'm not going to look at what it is. And then you go next. And then you call it whatever, masterclass. And then you can choose which one you want in there, and you want it to public, or you can add more, and then you just save it, and then it appears here. Once it's
I don't see that on my. Well, I'm looking on my phone right now. So you go to your profile.
Yes, let me stop sharing my screen. So you go on
my profile. I don't see anything.
Otherwise, you can go on edit public details. Does it give you this option?
Yep.
Click on that, and then it
Yep.
should give you option of featured.
Ah, so. Oh, well, I have a few things in there, but it's just what I have in my my profile, the same pictures you see in my profile. Oh, so I could be saving some things that I'm posting into this edit featured.
Yes, like your lifestyle, your whatever, your favorite products, or
okay. And then it's just saved for myself. Like no one's gonna, or people will be able to see it, I guess. If
people will see it.
Okay. Okay. Maybe I'll have to play around with that. That was something new I learned today. I've just never used it.
Always new stuff added to it. Any more questions?
Yeah.
Anyone? Let me check the group. Otherwise, yes, please, Colette.
Just one thing I was going to say, I know you were talking about it's obviously on the stories today, but I know myself, I find that if I come across someone that has like 20, 30 stories, myself personally, it's just too much time consuming for me to look through them all. So I might just click, 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 or just totally go off of them. So I find for myself, I think there may have been at one time, it had been brought to my attention, not by you, to keep posting, have it filled and filled and filled. And I just thought, whoa, like, what am I going to post in here, But I agree with you. I find, 5, 6, it just depends. Some days I might have more because I might have more stuff going on, but I'm like yourself too. I find if there's, 10, 15, 20 of them, I don't even bother. I just skip through them. And
I know there was a girl I followed. She sold Kangen water, and she did loads of presentations on there and stuff like that. And I worked closely with her, and so her audience is actually viewing all videos. So it works very well. They are really interested to see what she does throughout the day, and she shared it like really good. But personally, for me, I am here to teach moms how to save time. So for me, I will never ever tell you post 20 stories on your profile because you are wasting your time. Yes, try to have 1, 2, 3, have 3, have your lifestyle, have your result, have your value, so you cover it. But also if it's just one, it's fine. You want to maximize your time. And as great as it is story for you to be able to go in Messenger, because that is your main point, you should not just focus your full energy on just creating stories. And if you are here and you say, oh, I barely have time to look after my profile, then don't overwhelm yourself and start creating stories. And then you're like, oh no, I can't look after my profile. Now I have to do that story. You don't need to do that. You have to be aware of how much time you can invest in your business and what is feasible for you. So let's say you have an hour a day, then sit down and look, what can you do? And always make sure you don't just spend time on the things that are nice to do, like posting, creating stories, or engaging too much, but actually focus on the things that help you grow your business. Because like I mentioned yesterday, last year I spent so much time engaging with others. I was the engagement queen. I had so much engagement, but what's the point in it? I didn't send anyone a message. So obviously I didn't make any sale. And since I changed that, yes, my engagement's not great, but I am making sales. So what's better than that? Right. So I'm just saying, see where you have time, see for what you have time, and be okay if some of the other things don't work yet. Later on, when you have more time, or maybe there's days on the weekend where you can invest more time, then do those. That's why I also say sit down, and when you have an extra hour, create your content for the week. Or if once a month you say, oh, someone can help me out, watch the kids, or it's my day where I can look after myself, then use that time, or use little time pockets. I mean, I'm not sitting here just 2 hours a day straight after in a row and do my business. It's like sometimes when she plays, I have maybe 5 minutes to quickly do something, to engage. Or when I'm walking with her, I can quickly record a video for my stories. It is all based on what can you do, where you can fill little pockets of time that you have available to you, that you don't overwhelm yourself and you're like, oh no, I haven't done anything. You have 5 minutes. I mean, the best example is everybody complains about taking the phone to the toilet. You have 2 minutes to engage. As funny as it is, men sit hours on the toilets, right? So yes, your children are there, but you can engage, right?
I go in and do my thing.
Yes, but if you don't have time.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I don't have any kids running around.
No, it's just an example, and I know someone else does that too. So I no longer have to do it, luckily, because I have time when she's in nursery. Yeah,
good for you guys. I mean, you're using your time every free minute that you have. Why not, right? That's what you got to do when you're a mom. You've got to do that kind of stuff, right? And
yeah, but I mean, I used to, when she was not in nursery yet, I used to do my lives while I'm out and about going on walks. Yeah. Everywhere where I am, I can do a quick story. it's just like that. Or if you're sitting, like I used to at the beginning, we didn't have a car here, so you're in a taxi, you can quickly write 2 3 posts. Or if you're on a commute to work and you're going by train, do your work there. Yes, it will take some commitment, and yes, there is like, oh, but I rather do nothing. But the question you have to ask you, do you want to grow, or how fast do you want to go? Obviously, the more time you invest, the faster you go. But then also don't pressure yourself and don't overwhelm yourself. You don't want to be like, oh, I have to do that and I need to be quick. You also have to accept that as mom and with children, you're going slower than most people that don't have children. Don't compare yourself. That's what I did at the beginning. I compared myself to these 24-year-old dudes that have a girlfriend maybe, and they are making within a month, I don't know, they just started after me and making more money. How the hell? Why? But you never know. First of all, you never know what page of the book they are, how far in their journey they are. But it is okay. It is absolutely okay. It took me way longer than someone without a kid, without having to worry about a husband. A single guy that has nothing else to do than to sit at home and follow the trainings. I'm sure they're gonna learn quicker than we moms that have a 2-year-old running around, have someone with sleep regression, have a child throwing up, have stuff lying around, have to cook, have to clean. You can't compare yourself to others. Be okay with your own journey. And it took me a lot of mindset trainings, and I'm still working on it. I'm far from perfect. I still have my days where it's like, why is he making so much money? And it's like, yeah, exactly. Yes,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I have to agree because I know for myself too, with the business that I do, there is some gals that will come in and they earn their car payments in 6 months. They are making way above what I'm making, whatever. But then I also do know that I'm glad you brought the comparison conversation up, because I used to do that a lot. Like, I was comparing myself to these young, 30-year-olds, and every time they go and they do a video or post a picture, every hair is not out of place. They have their makeup on, they have their clothes just perfect. And I'm thinking, but I know a lot of these things can be, your face can be fixed up with all the, what do you call those? Filters, the filters and things. And then I started, I'm getting better at not comparing myself, because I'm thinking I am going to be 63. I want to be able to, my kids are all grown up out of the house. I want to be able to spend time with them when I want. I have one grandson. I want to be able to spend time when I want. And I have had to learn to stop comparing myself to these 25, 30, 35-year-olds, because they do the business. And I do know for a fact that some of them do their business like it's like 24/7, 24/7. Well, I guess if I'm not willing to do my business 24/7, I have to really learn and to stop comparing myself to others.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not willing to do it 24/7. I'm only on this earth one time, so I want to enjoy it doing other things. And not knocking the people that work their business 24/7. Good for them if that's what they want. But I find sometimes people will burn out
Oh,
as
yeah,
well.
definitely. And the thing is, like, you also have to ask yourself, what is more important for you? Yes, obviously you want to grow your business, that's fine. But for me, that's why I had to set boundaries. I have made it clear I will only work, like my main work, when she's asleep. So I only work when she has her nap, or now when she's in nursery, which is like an added extra time for me, which is great, or now when she's in bed sleeping. But if anything comes up, if she's sick or stuff like that, I am there for her, because I am here to do that, to have more time with her. So what is the point in me spending all the time on the business when I then don't have time for her? So you have to see, what are you willing to do? What are you not willing to do? obviously, if you want certain results, there is times where you have to push through, and there was times when sometimes I'm sitting there till like 1, 2 in the morning, and I'm preparing for a masterclass or stuff like that. But those few times make up for all the extra time that you then have with your kids. And I personally, unfortunately, was very lucky that I didn't have. I hated going back to my job, so I did not go back to my job, and I was able to manage that, which was really great. But I know there is people that one of my mentors, he worked for Sarah. I'll be right with you. He worked for a corporate job. He worked 90 hours a week, and in his commutes, he was able to write his posts, do his blogs, and now he is making, well, a lot of money. Let's say it like that. Yes, he's a guy, so we can't compare it to that, but working 90 hours is still a lot of time. And I'm not saying, oh, you have to stay up all night. I don't want you to stay up all night. We all need to have our sleep. We need to look after ourselves, because after all, if you don't look after yourself, you can't look after your kids the way you want to. So find a balance, find what works for you, because just it works for me does not mean it works for you. Yes, please, Sarah, ask your question. I don't want to hold you longer.
Hi. So I noticed when I'm watching these that you have this outline that you're you're talking about. And I guess it keeps you organized and your thoughts organized. I was wondering if you could share something like that with us, because I've been trying to take notes and it's not working out so well. And I find like I'm gonna have to go back and watch the replays over and over. Is there a way we could get some kind of like worksheet? And it doesn't have to be, I mean, it could just be the Google Doc you're posting it from.
Yes. So first of all, I wanted to mention that later. I will tell you about the profile that you will get from next time, where you have everything step by step in there as well. Maya knows it already, and otherwise I can share details of, not the exact sheet, because
yeah, it doesn't have to be, I know that's meant for you, but I mean, just something that yes, I can refer back to when I go to try to like write, because I've never written a story. I've never done these stories before. Like, I'm not a really big social media poster. Like, I just started, I had this great idea for a course to come up with, because I just found some things that like really helped me out of a bad situation I was in. And I was like, I could help a lot of people, because this isn't something that people outrightly know or learn from even therapists. And I've read like 20 something books, and I've taken like 4 productivity courses because I'm addicted to them, because apparently moms think we're not productive enough, even though I realize that that's not the issue with us at all. But so my, what I was gonna say is like, I've never been a really big user of social media, aside from maybe participating in a couple mommy groups and like, you know, I hardly ever even post. So this is kind of like unfamiliar to me, and I don't even know what to post. Like, aside from, you know, I've been playing around on Canva and I have some things, but it's a lot slower than 1 post a day right now, or 3 to 5 stories a day.
That's okay. Start with 1. So start with your profile, start with 1 post that you, because you have so little time, post every second day, or start with posting twice a week, and then slowly increase it. This way you're not overwhelming yourself, because you're working so much time already. You don't want to burn out with adding your business to it. So post twice or 3 times, what you can manage. Find what works for you. Post twice a week, and then your stories start with lifestyle, which means just show pictures of where you live, or take a quick video of your surroundings, or you're going to work, take a picture of how you're going to work, or you're having morning, you drink tea or coffee, take that. This way you are present and you're starting to show who you are to the people that are gonna watch your stories are there. And that's nothing that takes you extra time to create. I wouldn't go too fancy with Canva with everything. All you have to do for your value is you go on your, let me show you. It's very simple. You can do it on your desktop or your phone. Here we go. First option, text, and write inside what you want to share with them. You don't need to make it fancy. Or the other option you have is you take a picture, any picture. That's my daughter, for example. You can make it larger or smaller with your fingers. And then you have the right option and you can write your value on top of it. And it can be just one tip a day. This takes you half a minute if you take it longer to create. So don't
Okay.
overwhelm yourself.
And you said that's in stories, that feature where you can just put a picture and then type on it. Okay. I never actually click on that stuff when I'm on Facebook. I just don't. I don't know. It doesn't occur to me.
Yeah, it's here. Yeah, it's like when it's your
Yeah,
profile.
I always see that and I never, sometimes I touch it accidentally and I'm like, oh, we don't want that. I don't know what to do with that.
So you have all your pictures and then you choose a picture.
Another thing I started doing was actually going into like some good pictures I have of the kids or that maybe my husband's taken, texted me, and I go into Adobe Lightroom and I have a bunch of presets in that, and I can actually make the pictures look really cool or really professional looking. So that's something I've been doing and I just don't know what to do with them. So right now I just put them in Canva. So it's actually good that you showed that stories thing. I'll start just playing around with it, I guess, this week.
Yeah,
Getting like more comfortable with it, but yeah, so
yeah, just take it step by step, because like I said, if you haven't done anything, take it slow. Look what can you do and what you can not do. Like how much time do you have, how much time do you not have. Your priority along everything should be growing your list if you start up, so adding new friends, making sure you have at least 1 or 2 posts a week so people know you're starting to be there. Have 1 story a day, so if you don't have a post, you have it there. It can be lifestyle. It's just for you to
yeah.
be.
I'm noticing I'm getting tons of friend requests recently, and I think I don't know if it's something with the algorithm, like all of a sudden it just like changed and I started getting like dozens of them a day. But a lot of times, like I said, like you pointed this out, they're like sketchy friends. They're not like real. So half of them aren't even real people, and they are, and then they want to like I'll request them, and this looks like a legit person, and then or they'll I'll add them, and then they want to like get me to do some Cash App thing. I'm like, nope, you're a scam. You're a scam. And if it's not a scam, it's like the hey hun, and they want to sell me fat loss gummies or something, you know, or keto coffee or one of those things. Because they see me, my profile picture with a baby, they're like, oh, she's a mom, she must need to lose weight. And and it just happens like instantly. And there's very few of them that actually will engage with you and try to build some kind of like relationship. Yeah. So it's going to be very weird for me being on the other side of that, like reaching out to people, because this is like the first time I've ever done anything like this.
Just imagine you're offline. Just imagine you meet someone the first time. You say hi, how are you? Online is the same way that it works offline. Look at their profiles. Like I can show you. Let me share my screen quickly so you can see. I go a little bit faster. Oops, people messaging me. That's not good. I mean, it's good, but not now. So I just go, let's say I told you about some groups. Mastermind.com is a great group. There's lots of people inside.
Yeah, I just joined that group, and then I joined another group, like just a working moms group, and there was like 20 something thousand people in it, so it's a pretty sizable group. Just to kind of see, I guess, what my target audience is, like what their struggles are. I kind of am in my target audience, and a bunch of my friends are, so we know what we struggle with. I don't think that's something that's going to be a big challenge for me to try to connect with people over, because I feel like we're all kind of kindred.
No, that's absolutely fine. It's like, so for me, for example, if I go, let's go in here and you look out, here we go. For example, okay, that's a guy. I don't add guys. Sorry, I thought it's a lady. Like, I am very clear in that I don't add guys anymore. At the beginning, I used to serve everybody and anybody, got me nowhere, and I made it clear
Right.
I'm helping moms. So I'm very clear on who I invite into my friends list, so to say. So for me,
yeah, I feel like with guys, they have a much easier time doing things like this. I've noticed, even with my productivity course teachers, like, because I've told you I took a bunch of those, the ones taught by men were like completely unrealistic for me. and they couldn't understand my position that I was in. And they were just like, well, you need to delegate more, or you need to offload more. And I'm like, you don't understand, like being a mom, a working mom, you're signed up for 2 full-time jobs, whether, you know, there's nothing you can do about it. Like,
Yes, I understand what you mean. Absolutely. I started with male mentors and I switched to female.
and then I took one from that was a female, a woman who was a mom, and it was a totally different like structure of the course. The recommendations were totally different. It was so much more like what I needed. I didn't need to be told to take a cold shower and to like all the recommendations were like kind of like ludicrous and not really helpful for my situation.
I know what you mean, like the waking up at 5 a.m.
Well, I do wake up at 5 a.m. That's something that I do.
Like on purpose, having a cold shower, going for workout for an hour, and then you do your meditation, and then you
yes.
And then you do
then you do the 60 to 90 minutes of deep work within 15 minutes of waking up at 5 a.m. with no alarm clock after just a cold shower. Yes. And no caffeine, because caffeine is like a sin. You're not allowed to have coffee. And it's just like the way they just, it's almost like this, I don't even know how to explain it. Like this high productivity lifestyle is almost like it's like cult-like. It's like strange. And I don't know, it's just not up my alley at all. And it's not going to help me be more productive.
Yes, I know what you mean. No, you need to find people and surround yourself also with people that make you feel motivated and not actually make you feel like, oh, I'm not doing that, I'm missing out, I'm not doing that. Because that's how I felt first in that one mastermind. It was everyone that was successful guy, and they were all 20 to 25, had no kids, had nothing. So that's why it's like I chose out of that because it wasn't helping me stay motivated. I was just doubting myself. And that's when mindset comes in quite often. It's like you need to be aware who you surround yourself and make sure you surround yourself with people that lift you up and not that make you even more demotivated. You should do that, you should do that, you should do that. Sorry, I'm really trying my hardest to find now a lady with a, normally it's quite easy, but it's like nobody's there. But basically, we got someone. Wonderful. So I would go on their profile, have a look in person, I can see a face, they share some details, and then I also look when they were last active, because for me, I want people that are active, because someone that hasn't been active for now it's a month is quite difficult. Because you don't know if they're still using Facebook or they're not using Facebook. She most likely is using another platform because she has her own media thingy, so that's okay. But personally, I would not reach out. She is not my kind of person, so I just move on. But otherwise, what you can do as well, if you have a post, like I post in that one group, you can look up your own posts. Here we go, where it shows you all your posts, where you're engaged, and based on that, everyone that you have on here, you can friend them and you can send them a message. So here you would go, friend them, once they accept, you would say, hey, thank you for engaging on my post in blah, blah, blah. And it's great to be connected. I see on your profile, blah, 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 whatever. And that's it.
Okay, that's cool. All right, and thanks. I liked what you said too about like on my post about because I have a business page and I was kind of confused where should I be posting this stuff, on my Facebook or on my like my profile or my business. And the reason I wasn't really posting too much on my my profile is that I'm Facebook friends with my boss and nobody at my job knows what I'm doing with this.
And
what?
Unfriend your boss?
Well, she's my girl. She was in my wedding. She's like a friend of mine.
Well, then if she's okay with it.
And you know what? She's funny is like, she would actually be in my target audience. Because we talk about this stuff all the time, like the same stuff that I'm, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I haven't like decided I wanted to tell her what I'm doing yet. So I don't want her to see like an offer from me and be like, what's going on?
The thing is, it's you have to decide what you want to do. On your Facebook profile, you have a wider reach than on your business page. On your business page, it is mainly you running ads in a way to get more people and more eyeballs on your posts. Whereas on your profile, you can do that without the ad, so you don't pay for it. The thing is, you have to decide, do you want to, you can tell her first and say, look, I'm doing that. You will see my Facebook profile is more active. What you can also do and be like, you just write a post, say, hey, everybody on my friends list, I have started blah, blah, blah. From now, you will be seeing more posts about my business, about me, so on and so on.
Yeah.
Welcome to stay if you like. If you, however, don't like to follow me on the journey, I don't want to kick you out of my life, but you're welcome to follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, wherever you want to lead them to. And this way you can still be there like, hey, I'm still here, you can still be with me, but if you don't want, you can follow me somewhere else and you don't have to look at my business profile.
Okay.
Giving
Yeah.
them the choice to do what they want to do.
Yeah. And if anything, like it's not, what I'm doing is not against, like my job is completely separate from what I'm doing with my course. Like it has nothing to do at all. You know, I'm a cosmetic scientist. I formulate makeup. I work for a big cosmetics company. It has nothing to do with like planning, prioritization, mindset, learning how to manage stress, like all these things that I'm teaching in my course. It really has nothing to do with it at all. If anything, it's kind of like, it's good. Like people at my job are always like, oh, you have all these planners and timers and like you seem to be very like efficient with your like tasks and stuff like that. And I'm like, that's a lot of the things that I've learned trying to get out of this like overwhelmed state, which I'm still kind of in, but that's a whole other story.
It's absolutely fine. And it's your life in the end. You want to grow your business. So it's your Facebook profile. You get to choose what you want to do with it. So
Okay.
what I think is the best, talk to her directly, just make a post, give the option to stay with you or to leave you, move them to Instagram, whatever you want to do. And I unfriended all my friends. I went, bye-bye, see you on Instagram. Or
yeah, it's interesting though, because most of my friends are like in the same position I am. So when I like invited people to like my page, so many of my friends started liking it and like engaging with my stuff because it's a lot of things that any like working moms kind of want to talk about. You know what I mean? Especially now, like post COVID, or we're still currently dealing with COVID with all the additional stress that's been put on us. It's like, you know, I think it's helpful. So, but thank you. I'm actually excited to get this. You said you're going to be sending some kind of like worksheet or a workbook or something.
yes, you will get that throughout the next week, and I will add the story details in a separate post, most likely tomorrow, because it's almost 11 p.m. here.
Oh, geez. Wow. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. This has been really helpful.
I'm glad I'm of service. Anyone else? Any questions? I am here for you. Let me check the group to make sure no one that is on the live has any questions. That's it. Okay, then that's it from me. Wonderful. Thank you all for joining me on the live. As you can see, the question thread in the group, it will stay open until Monday, where you can ask me still questions and I will answer to you. The group and the training will close on the 2nd of October, which is in exactly 1 week. So you have enough time to still catch up on everything. You will get the free ebook sent to you throughout the next week. I will drop the information for the stories that you'd like to have in there, no problem at all. And yes, I will also drop the information about my program below. Any questions, just ask. And otherwise, Thank you for joining me and have a wonderful weekend. And I'll see you inside the group. Bye.
Thank you.